was wild. It like gave me like the whole like your web browser has failed to play the intro. I'm like, oh, fuck. This is why I need Aiden back full time, but he decided to do bigger and better things. And Jesus Christ, you people in the chat with the clone code and stuff, you guys gotta get out of here. Well, welcome to the nightcap. I'm Matthias Schwarzkopf, and we got Nate Schuster back in the house. How's it going, man?
Going well. Happy to be back.
I forgot to ask you. I didn't even mention it when we got into before the show started. Hi, Craig Council, man. Are you? How's your level of bumness?
I'm not really. The Brewers fan in me is slim to begin with.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at him. Mad at ownership. Focusing more on getting a tax bill passed rather than keeping the best manager in team history and letting him go to the arch rival. But nothing like last offer of $5.5 million. Like, yeah,
he got paid. Like, but I didn't even realize it. Like, how crazy. Like, college coaches in college baseball make a lot more money than a lot of the MLB managers. Did you know that?
No, I really didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either until they were. So it was on 670 Score. They were talking about Craig Cancel going to the Cubs, and they're like, yeah. So this is a record-breaking, obviously, contract for MLB managers, but they were saying college coaches can make more money baseball-wise than some managers in the MLB.
How much?
I don't know. I need to do some digging on this. Like, I didn't really care at the time, but I need to find some digging on some college baseball coaches who are making bank just to see. Because when you think more MLB managers would be dipping out to college if that was the case, I don't know.
I think that would explain why like guys like, was it Mike Martin from FSU were there forever and never went up.
Could be
like, I feel like those college coaches stay a while, but I don't really know college baseball that much. I am novice at best.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look up the highest college baseball coach salaries. Here we go. All right. Okay. Tim Corbin makes $1.68 million. Okay, I feel like this is already bullshit. Salaries. Here we go. Here's the managers baseball salaries list. This is great. This is great. Iowa State football and basketball podcasting here. We're talking about MLB managers and paying college coaches. Oh, screw it. Joe Torre made $7.5 million. So okay. Whatever. That was a bunch of Tim Corbin's highest paid. Okay, $2.6 million. Now, okay, Brownie, find me like the lowest paid MLB manager while you're sitting there in the stuff. Anyways, Iowa State beat the shit out of BYU this past weekend. Nate, he informed me that he watched very little of the game, so we're gonna just take this as it runs. But I'm sure we could do a little bit of shit talking of Texas along our way in this one.
Oh yeah,
my house was just about to cave in. Jesus Christ. So, dude, I don't even remember the score. This is really bad already.
Was it 45-14 or 21?
I don't know. I was pretty lost in the sauce by that time. 45-13 Iowa State final score. The Cyclones literally just ran it. I mean, I shouldn't say ran it down their throat, but they used a lot of outside run against this BYU team, because BYU was really aggressive in the middle, taking the middle of the field away from Iowa State, both collectively in the run game and the pass game. And they're really aggressive with their blitzing. So Iowa State really did beat them out on the outside in the run game. So Iowa State ran the ball 37 times for 234 yards, passed it 16 completions for 209 yards. Abu Sama had 8 rushes for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the 59-yard touchdown run late in the second half to basically just put the final dagger into the heart of the BYU Cougars. So, yeah, BYU's going through it here a little bit as they're joining the Big 12 here. So 2-5 in conference play. I guess they have the most wins out of any of the newcomers, so they got that. Jim Cora for the Red Sox is making $800K. There you have it. College baseball coach is making more than the Red Sox manager.
That's wild.
That is for the Red Sox too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it feels like BYU is like the smartest kid in the dumb class when it comes to the new additions to the Big 12.
Yeah. Yep. And they still have the worst part for BYU is they have the opportunity they need one win to make a bowl game, but they have to play Oklahoma and then travel to Stillwater to play Oklahoma State.
Yeah, good.
That's why I was like, Iowa State has to get the 6th win before they play Texas and Kansas State, because it's, as much as we hate Texas, it's still a tough game. In Kansas State, always something wild happens in Manhattan. We all know it. We've all seen it. We've all lived it. So yeah, it really was a truly dominating game for Iowa State, just in all facets, especially when you start the game with a interception on the first play. So it really did set the tone. How much of the game? I mean, you said you watched very little. How did you fall asleep? Were you doing something else?
I mean, once it got to like a 21 to 28 point game, I was like, I'm
out of here.
Yeah. And there's nothing against it. It's just, it was late and there was one offensive play from scrimmage for BYU and they had 2 turnovers and we already had 14 points or whatever we had. So we were in a good spot. But yeah, I stuck around until about halftime.
You're old, man. You're getting older. I was like, I tweeted out something. I was like, imagine worrying about falling asleep when Rocco is going to cook BYU or something like that.
That's me.
Yeah. It's just like everybody all day, like, oh, I'm going to fall asleep in the middle of the game. I'm like, well, okay. That's you. I had to type the game recap, like, I don't know. It was midway through the 4th quarter. Luckily, we were up by as much as we were, 45-13 at the time. And I was like, I'm just going to type this out, because if we went down to the wire and it was like 1 a.m., that would have been a rough recap to write. Yeah, I don't know why everyone was so tired, Fancy. So you live on the West Coast. You dolt.
I saw some people talking Cooper DeJean today.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean is out for the season. They're saying lower leg injury, but I'm pretty sure everybody's saying it's a broken leg there.
Well, T's and P's to him, but bet the under a lot more now. That's 7 points a week on punt returns.
The crazy thing is they just have to win one more game to officially book their ticket to the Big Ten title game. And no matter what, football's a weird game. Iowa could have got into the Big Ten title game and anything could have happened kind of thing. But now you're without your best player. Ain't anything going to happen now. You're just going to get your ass kicked. You have Michigan or Ohio State going against that defense without Cooper DeJean. Yeah, good luck. Let's see. Kickoff is 8 p.m. for me. It was great. Big Ten title game just to lose 100-0. Kind of trending that way. So now we're setting up. Speaking of title games, Iowa State somehow is still right in the middle after a 1-3 start, still right in the middle of the Big 12 title game chase. There's a lot of I'm not going to get into the Big 12 title game tiebreakers, but basically it starts with your head-to-head is the main primary way that you can get into the title game, and then there's a bunch of shit after that. And if only we had a proper way to determine who played in the title game, prior to this season. Yeah, wild to use that,
Yeah.
But anyways, Iowa State's. Let me see this. Are they technically tied for second in the Big 12 now? Still, I think. Yes. So we got this is a 4-way tie for second right now in the Big 12. Iowa State plays Texas and Kansas State. Obviously, Kansas State's one of the teams tied for second in the Big 12. We hold the tiebreaker over Oklahoma State. If they were to beat Texas, they would hold a tiebreaker over Texas. Then obviously you have to beat Kansas State, but then Oklahoma's still in there, and it's just it's a lot of shit going on here. So a lot to not pay attention to. And that's where I'm going to be at with it. So yeah, tough game against Texas here. I was trying to find some of the team ranking sets where Texas was hanging around at, because it's this isn't
I'm feeling pretty good about this game, honestly. Night game. Yeah, Jonathan Brooks is out. Rest in peace to my college fantasy team, who's my starting running back. Torn ACL. So
T's and P's.
Yeah, T's and P's for him too. But we'll accept and Quinn Ewers hasn't looked the best as the last 2 or 3 weeks of that injury. I don't know what you think there, but
I watched a little bit of them. It was while we were waiting for the Iowa State BYU game. I mean, they jumped out to a significant lead against TCU, and then just fell apart. Basically, got their foot off the gas and allowed TCU to climb back in it. They definitely appear stronger on both the offensive and defensive lines, and that doesn't bode well for this Iowa State defense, considering the front three for the Iowa State defense is not getting any kind of pressure. And when Quinn Ewers is specifically a pocket quarterback, you got to get to him. So, I don't know. They're playing well. Texas is playing well. They're winning the games they need to. Their last game was their worst. It's not the Texas that we've had come into Jack Trice Stadium over the last 5 years. It's just a significantly more athletic, faster, bigger, stronger Texas team than in the past. So that's where my mindset is. It's gonna be a tough bitch to play.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's your 2 toughest games of the season is the last game of the year, 2 last games of the year. I mean, I'm minus the Oklahoma scenario being in the middle of the season, but yeah, I mean, we've played well against Texas night games before, so you kind of hope that kind of plays into it senior night. You get a little extra juice in the team to go win one for the seniors. But we did just play a night game against Kansas and looked like we'd never played a football game before. So there's also that aspect of it. So that's where my mindset is.
Fantasy football trade. I would not do that trade. I would want Jordan Addison on my team, but call me an idiot.
Are you trying to get Jordan Addison?
If you're getting Jordan, whoever has Jordan Addison should keep Jordan Addison.
Keep Jordan Addison, yeah. Like Tank Dell I had him on my bench for a while, and he's gotten more points lately, but Jordan Addison is significantly better. Yeah, what the heck? Somebody's trying to screw somebody here. I have like a guy in one of my fantasy leagues sending me a trade like every single day. It was proposed to me. Are you getting Jordan Addison? That's what I want to know. If you're getting Jordan Addison, I'd hit the yes. Right now.
I'd hit yes. I would have hit yes before he even sent it in here.
Yeah. Yeah. If you are getting Jordan Addison, hit yes. Matthias seems prepared as always. I am never prepared. We don't even write a rundown for these shows. We never have and we never will. This is always fly by the seat of our pants. Man. Who needs a rundown for
hit yes right now. Hit yes right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you get Jordan Addison, yes, unless Jordan Addison is somehow injured and we don't know about it.
Which T's and P's, but
I'm about to send So this is not the Wide Right Natty Light fantasy league that we have, but this guy literally will send me it was Justin Jefferson for some just bozo, and he just send 3 guys for Justin. I don't know. It was just I was getting hosed no matter what. That's ridiculous. People in their trade requests. Somebody's about to hit yes. That's probably what they're banking on. That somebody accidentally hit yes. That's all. Here collusion. More toxic fans. Horns down or the Hawks?
Hawks.
Yeah, I'd probably side that way. We definitely
sometimes
deal with them a lot more. But Texas has their fair share.
Texas has a little bit more of a right to talk shit.
Well,
they've won a national championship in my lifetime in a sport.
True. Also that. Which venue had the most in basketball at least was the most toxic? It was probably Iowa.
Iowa for sure. But
it didn't seem like when Texas was at the old
Irwin Center, there was no one there.
Nobody there.
Colt McCoy sat courtside by us once, but that was the only cool person that ever came to one of our games. McConaughey never showed up to the Iowa State game.
Yeah. I don't want to be there. All right. So the Texas defense, this is kind of funny because the way to beat them is going to be through the pass, and it's just Iowa State really has in games past been able to open up the run game with the passing, but Texas is extremely tough to run the ball against. I mean, they're only giving up 3 yards per rush, top 10 in the country. And it's credit to their giant defensive front. And Iowa State, for the improvement that the offensive line has shown, is still struggling to block within the interior run game. And that's like, we've seen a lot of our longest runs of this season come outside the tackles. And we have busted off some long runs and inside in between the guards and center, but it's where we struggled the most. And Texas is not going to have to send as much pressure as BYU did just because BYU was down a lot of guys on both lines, offensive line and defensive line. Texas is not, and they just have a lot more studs than BYU does. So it's going to be tough. And defensively, they get to the quarterback too. So, and teams have started to get to Rocco a little bit more. And sack, we didn't give up that many sacks within the first 6 games of the season. Now, here lately, it seems like he's been hitting the ground a little bit more, and maybe he's just not pulling the trigger on certain passes and things like that. But there's been a lot more pressure on the quarterback, and that's due to blitzing too. It's just a little more in that regard.
Yeah, probably just need to get the ball out quicker.
Yep. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those nerve-wracking nights. Honestly, I think the Iowa State defense is going to be fine. Obviously, the 2 wide receivers for Texas are deadly as hell on the outside. And if I hope Jeremiah Cooper is back for this one because they're going to need him. Patton against BYU, he was serviceable. He was a lot better than Thompson the other game against Kansas. But Patton, first start of his career at safety, he was serviceable. Made some freshman mistakes. You could see it. It's just that Texas is a whole other animal. You need your best players out there. So I'm hoping he's back, and I think they'll be all right. But it's going to be, I don't know. Iowa State can't afford to have a pick six like they did against Kansas. Kind of what I'm boiling this one down to.
Yeah, this can't be a game where you have to play a perfect game and hope they mess up. You can't mess up and still expect to compete.
Make a comeback.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. I haven't made a full prediction. I haven't even really dived in a whole lot into it because I got to type the game preview here in the next 48 hours. So rest in peace to me. But I'm kind of siding on this one as Iowa State's going to play close, have their opportunities, and maybe just fall short by 3 points. And that's really nothing to shake your head at in this one. It's just considering all things, but I just think Texas is just a tiny bit better than Iowa State this year, and clearly are. I don't know. I don't think the environment's going to be enough to consume Texas and give Iowa State a win.
Yeah.
So that's my official podcast prediction, unless you want to give one.
Oh, I think Iowa State will win by 1 point, 22-21. That's my pick.
Nice. I'll take it. Like it a lot. I'm gonna jump over here since I'm just gonna tailor this a little bit more towards basketball. Fortunately, with the Texas stuff going on, we gotta jump in there. But I kind of want to get your initial thoughts on the 3 games so far for the Iowa State men's basketball team. Obviously, the non-conference schedule isn't the best. The lower end Ken Pom teams to start the first 3 games out in the season. In the first 2 seasons with TJ Altenberger, they would win these games, but they would have a hard time scoring. And then it turned out we would have a hard time scoring throughout the entire season. This year, we're still playing defense at a high level, it appears, but we can shoot and are scoring points. And the cool thing for me, at least, and we'll get your thoughts on it, but against Idaho State, they played like I felt like they played like shit, and they still scored over 80 points. So that's appealing to me considering what they have.
Yeah, I was actually at that game on Sunday. Thought they were kind of playing with their food a little bit, especially in that first half. There was some runs where it was like, man, what the hell are these guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
And for them to still win by 31 points, hold them to 50. If anytime you hold a team to 55 points in college basketball, you should probably win the game. If you're not scoring 60, that's more the offense's problem than anything. But yeah, it's good to see them. I mean, they're touching 85 is their lowest scoring game so far, taking care of business as usual. We're not in a 49-39 game with Jackson State like it was either last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
If we can stay far away from the 48 to 52 games, I think this team will go very far. It's good to see that they're playing better. A couple notes that I had. So I went to practice before they played Green Bay on Saturday, on Sunday last week. And what the staff told me was they expect the defense to maybe take a little bit of a hit just because we don't have Gabe Kalshur anymore. The charge rule has changed. We don't expect to take as many charges. There's going to be more scoring because of that. They said that 87 of their 94 charges they took last year would be blocks this year. So
really
don't expect any Taman Lipsey against Texas Tech challenge moments because that's just going to be a block. Gabe Kalshur charges aren't going to be there anymore. But Curtis Jones off the bench, Demarion Watson's taken a big step forward, and Taman has a jump shot. So those are three big pieces on top of the fact that Keyshawn Gilbert is the quickest Iowa State guard we've had since Lindell Wigington. It's going to go a long way for how this offense looks throughout the year. And honestly, I'm pleased with how it started. No one's hurt yet either.
Yeah. You mentioned Curtis Jones, but I'm curious what you think of him because, we heard in the Bahamas the dude was just lighting up, and he did light it up in that first game. Obviously, you're playing a JV squad. The teams that they're playing in the non-conference are probably a little bit better than these squads that they were playing in Bahamas. But, like, if you could shoot, you could shoot. And it just seems like through these first 3 games, I think he's hit 1 3, and he has a green light to shoot it. So does he earn the right to have that green light that he's shown so far in practice? Obviously, because he's been making them. So what is the difference now that he's not making anything in a game compared to how he got that green light?
Well, honestly, I think he has the green light, and if coach doesn't want him to take those shots, he'll take him out of the game, or he'll put him in a position where he won't have the ball in those spots. A lot of his threes are coming above the break, which free throw line and above. That's a longer 3 in the college game than it used to be compared to the corner 3. Only moved back only a couple inches, and I know he's gone through that transition in his college career. I would hope that he has adjusted to this point, but I think that does make a big difference. But it's also really early in the season. The game speed, the true game speed is a lot different than practice speed. I will say that. Guys that go a little harder just because, this is what you've been practicing for all week. So I would say there's really no hesitations we should be having as fans. He's going, 1 for 5, 1 for 6, whatever this is right now, but he's going to have games where he's going to be 7 of 8, 8 of 10. Like this, let him get hot a couple of games. Like who knows, maybe Grambling, he goes 6 of 6 and he needs to be shooting 10 instead of 6.
Yeah. Well, and then I'll keep this kind of on the same train, but I didn't see it personally, but Aiden was telling me about the Twitter experience after Omaha Blues. What's the word I'm looking for here? But first game is a Cyclone. We'll just go that way. Obviously he fouled out. He'd pick up his first 2 quick fouls. They took him out of the game. Then he got the 3. They took him out of the game. Got the 4, and he just never got in a rhythm in that first game. Second game, played a little bit more, wasn't in foul trouble as much, looked still like he was sped up a little bit. And I thought on Sunday he was a little bit more composed and playing within the game a little bit more. I don't think he had quite as much of a run as he did that second game. So what have you seen from Omaha that I'm not worried about him, but what would say what would you say to somebody who might be worried about him this early on in the season?
I would say that the college game is a lot different than anything he's ever done before, just with how the game is played. He missed some time in the offseason to go play with USA Basketball. The international game is a lot different than the college game, which is a lot different than the high school game. For me, it's his second, third game. Coach Otzelberger has told me specifically, I don't know if I can say this on the show, but he might only average 5 points and 4 rebounds, but he's going to impact winning. He's an incredible athlete. He might not be a guy that creates his own offense, but he's going to be a great screener, great hustler. He's getting offensive rebounds. He's around the ball. Eventually getting a feel for the game will come with that. He just needs more game time.
Yeah. So he's got a lot more. And I'm kind of with you. I don't think, and I think Levi and I even said, I don't think he's a guy that we're going to see 10 points a game out of him. Now, he might have a game where he drops 15, 17, 20 points here and there. But, when you don't score, like you only score 2 points within the first 2 games each game, your average is going to start off pretty low. So, yeah, I thought he was just playing way too fast the first time. He was trying to acclimate himself within the game.
He was pressing.
Yeah, he was pressing. And you could tell he was just like, I need the ball, I need to make a play here. And then he got in foul trouble, and it's like, dude, just like go get a beaver tranquilizer, shoot yourself in the neck, and chill out a little bit here. That's what he needed. Then you could tell each game it's gone down the path of being more common within the actual team.
Yeah,
philosophy.
Yeah, I think he just needs a little bit more time. It's not even Thanksgiving. The games really don't matter until they go to that ESPN Invitational. I know Brownie just said that the fouls were soft because, they were soft. Green Bay almost lost to a Division III school before they played Iowa State. They're not a very good team. They're not very physical. They could fall on their face just by standing up. So,
yeah. Yeah, this first game jitters, trying too hard, can be coached out of blue. I don't even know if they really need to coach it out of him. I think it's just him getting used to it, quite honestly. So
give him 2-3 more games. He'll be good.
Paul says he heard Curtis Jones is streaky. They probably just hoping he hits on those streaks. That's
Abe was streaky too. He was still great.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And game pieces were a lot. They were worse than Curtis Jones's has been.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of funny how quickly we forget about some of that stuff, and it's like, especially when you see Milan. Does he ever miss? It kind of, dude. That first game, he just came out and shot the 3 from the top of the arc right away. I was like, oh boy, it's gonna be something different. It was a tough pill to swallow, quite honestly. The going from the high flying offenses that we were used to, like in your time frame, and just being able to score, and then obviously the little bit of the lull period at the end of the Pro Mary, and then coming into Osberg and just playing straight up punch you in the face type of defense. It was an adjustment, and then going right back to, as a fan, of seeing the first shot of the season just be a 3, just swishing it. You're just like, okay, not sure I'm used to this now. It's like you got to acclimate once yourself again. You're just like, we're on a little bit of a roller coaster here as fans.
Well, I mean, part of it, God, I love a Samami. I don't know if I like that, sickos. But really part of it was, I mean, my fault included. We went 2-22.
Yeah, way to go, Nate.
Yeah, I know. Played a whopping 3 minutes the entire season. But I mean, it's hard to recruit for that. The first year they made the tournament with Tyrese Hunter and the transfers that we could get. And that kind of led to our offense being a little iffy, and same thing in year 2. And now it's kind of like, all right, these are the guys we're rolling with, feels like us. These are truly TJ's recruits now. In a good spot.
I just remember that Tyrese Hunter is back at Texas again. All right. I totally He tried the NBA waters. Obviously, did pan out, and he's back at nobody's talking about him anymore, which is it's great because obviously we beat that ass when he was up here in Ames, and we made the tournament without him, and all was fine. And now we've reloaded again, and I think Texas is still going to be a pretty decent squad this season, but I don't see any reason why we're not going to be. I don't even know how many times I think we put once this year. I think it might be in Ames. But do you think he's going to get the same kind of reception that he did the first time coming back?
Oh, yeah. I think it's to be expected. Like, Jordan Bohannon got a pretty nice reception when he came back after the whole shoe ordeal. Hunter will get something similar.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy, they say. Let's see. I'm looking here. Texas. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, wait. That was last year's schedule. Ooh, baby. We might be looking pretty good. Let's go. Hunter who, says Frederick. I think we play. Yep, we have. No, we have to go to Austin. And it's on. Guess what channel it's on?
Longhorn Network.
Longhorn Network, 7 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Can't wait to pirate that one.
That's some bullshit.
Is that illegal for me to say that on this? I'm stream easting the game. Come find me, FBI.
We got banned from YouTube for like 48 hours when we started this because I think we had David Montgomery on and we were showing like David Montgomery highlights. There might have been Chase Allen. I don't remember which one it was, but we were showing like highlights from YouTube. But it was like the Iowa State Athletics YouTube page, and then they banned us on YouTube for showing clips from YouTube. It was just wild. It's not like we were making money off of YouTube on YouTube. We were just showing shit from YouTube. It was mine. Someone stream in the Discord, please. You want us to stream this in the Discord? I don't even know how to do that. Oh, nice. The Longhorn game. Yeah, we could probably. I don't remember. Somebody did it last year. I'm pretty sure streamed it on the. Yeah, because they don't even do the. It's not even on ESPN Plus anymore, is it?
It's got it. Well, actually, I have no idea. That's probably one you got to pay extra on top of the ESPN Plus because it's stupid.
I can't. I hope SEC basketball is going to end up on Longhorn Network. It has to, unless they got rid of it. But I don't remember. Just put like Alabama versus Texas football game on Longhorn Network. That'd be insane.
Yeah,
it'd be funny.
Yeah, put Kentucky on the Longhorn Network and see how.
Yeah, Kentucky versus Texas basketball on the Longhorn Network. Shout out whoever is watching the ISU athletic directors. Fix your juice box. Pormo and email. Promo.
That's an important M right there.
Yeah, that could have been a N. Fix your juice box porno and email colors.
What is it, Brownie? Juice box.
Come on, Brownie, get with it here. And I know a guy, and by guy I mean site, and several of them. Yeah, the whole Longhorn. I'm glad that we don't have to fucking worry about that anymore. I mean, the ESPN Plus is kind of brutal too in its own right, but it's a lot better than having to find out where Longhorn Network is.
Nice.
Oh,
clarified.
The couple years ago, this is the third. Switching back to football really fast, but this is the third time since 2018 that Iowa State and Texas have played the second to last game of the season, with Iowa State having implications on this game to go to the Big 12 championship game in football. And that first time that ever happened, it was when Iowa State had to go to Austin for a night game, Brock Purdy's first season starting at quarterback, and they put it on the Longhorn Network. That was brutal. So bad. Like,
that was my freshman year.
God, how could you even? I don't know. I know how they get it. And like everybody was like, it was like a big thing because I think that was like the first game we ever had on the Longhorn Network for anything. And it was just, no, it probably wasn't, but it was still, ouch.
Why does ESPN
Milan
do
shoot,
this?
I don't know. Don't know. Milan shooting is hotter than Rocco's mom on the beach. Damn. God damn.
Mommy's hotter than Monty.
Are we really going with Milan's nickname as Mommy? Are we doing that?
I know Larry's doing it.
Larry. Montgomery also speak because of the rule. Yeah, and I don't know if David Montgomery was making a whole lot of difference in that first half for Iowa State. They just that entire
got that big fight with Hakeem Butler.
Yep. That team in 2018 was not ready for that moment, and I don't think the coaching staff was either. But the cool thing was they redeemed themselves in the exact same situation 2 years ago, 2 years after that. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a bunch of mommy stuff going around Twitter, and nobody's gonna know what the hell we're talking about unless you're an Iowa State fan.
Yeah, they're gonna think Iowa State Twitter is just a bunch of sickos. It already is, but it's just gonna be confirmed.
It's be like, mommy's getting deep into the paint. Like this, it's never going to end. Mommy got a rim job.
Mommy's
This is gonna be bad.
taking it down low.
Somebody's getting banned. Oh, we have Matthias and Larry. Only evidence of sickos you need. That's quite honestly. That's
Hopefully, Elon never gets dunked on. Mommy's getting
Ooh.
hammered on.
Spank me. Whoa, Frederick, calm down. Jesus. Mommy has a really nice stroke. Okay, this podcast is going to get off the rails really quick. For reference, anybody who is when they fire up the podcast tomorrow morning to listen to this, we have just apparently have decided somewhere along the lines, and probably thanks to Cyclone Larry, to nickname Milan Momcilovic as Mommy. And yeah, back him up, Mommy, says Brownie. That could be detrimental. Somebody in the student section is going to have a bunch of signs that say something about Mommy. There's going to be some pretty creative stuff. I can already see this already.
He can control the ball with both hands. Mommy can.
Jesus. Yep, we're getting banned. Mommy handles the ball well. Okay. Take it to the hole, Mommy.
That should be the screen cap for this episode.
Take it to the hole, Mommy. Jesus. So if you're an Iowa State student and never need to come back to some stuff for the signs, just come back and rewatch this podcast and pull the stuff off the comments on the bottom of the screen. And you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So I guess looking ahead, obviously basketball-wise, and Mommy and the Cyclones have our old friend Terrence Lewis on Saturday with Grambling State.
Ooh.
Did you know he was on Grambling State?
I did not actually. I know
he yeah, so I cannot. So he had a knee injury the first year at South Alabama,
USA.
and then after that there is nothing, no trace of him whatsoever. And then he disappeared for a year, and then now he's on Grambling State.
I think his knee injury, from what I heard through the grapevine, was pretty bad, and it kept him out.
Like a two-year injury type deal.
Yeah, like I don't want to say like Teddy Bridgewater-esque, but I don't know if you remember when that happened to him on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he had the COVID year. He's been able to probably medically redshirt. This might be his last year, honestly, but we cool to watch
I think
him
it
play.
is.
See,
Yeah,
he's
he.
a
So it was just so weird because Aiden and I were like looking through this stuff after the we did the nightcap last week, and this is when I found out that Terrence Lewis was on Grambling State, and I'm like, no shit. So we started like deep diving through the internet to find out like how he got to Grambling State, and
that was a
so
good
what do we got?
one. Yep.
There goes mommy streaking down the court. Bang, mommy does it again. This is getting off the rails. Frederick says this is what happens when Levi is gone.
Yeah.
Levi
Dirty stuff.
Levi is like, yeah, I'm going to Europe. And I was like, okay, is there anything I need to do when you leave? He's like, no, I'm gonna before everybody gets their articles and stuff in the night before, and I'll be up like when you guys are sleeping, getting up in the morning, and I'll just get everything ready to submit for that day. So day 2 of him in Europe. It's like a day before we play like BYU, everything. So we have like, I don't know, there's probably 3 or 4 articles come out on Friday. None of them get scheduled whatsoever. And I'm just like, this is going well. So then I was like, all right, I'll schedule, get them all on. Monday rolls around. I'm like, maybe he just like was like tired from traveling to Europe. Nothing. Then like the next day, nothing. I'm like, okay, well, looks like Matthias is running the ship. Let's do this. Anyways, back to my investigation story. Terrence Lewis literally has no picture on the Grambling State website. So that's why it was so bizarre to me. So we started diving in deeper to find out what happened to him at USA. But now you gave us the final missing puzzle piece.
Yeah, I know he was in Milwaukee the last year or some change. So
okay. Yeah, because he skipped. So that knee injury. Yeah, the knee injury would have been around that time frame where he skipped. So 7.3 points or 7.3 points a game is what he's averaging right now. 10.5 minutes a game. Our old friend. He only played 3 games last year for Grambling State too.
Must have came back towards the end or something.
Could have. Yep. 7 point. He scored 13 points against Colorado. 21 minutes. He's averaging around 10 minutes a game, it looks like. So, yeah, that'll probably be interesting for him to come back to old Ames, Iowa on Sunday as the opposing player.
Yeah, it probably won't be the best return. I would say I wouldn't expect Grambling to score much more than 50 points.
Yeah, that's going to be a dud of an atmosphere, I have a feeling, because most non-conference games other than the big ones are pretty inside Jack in Hilton. But there's going to be no students this weekend. So get out of there with a win, and then you're on to Florida to take on VCU. And then either Boise State or Virginia Tech after that. And then the final game on Sunday, we assume it will either be Texas A&M or Florida Atlantic, which will be a nice test, I guess. I don't think VCU is going to impose that much of a will because they seem pretty down this year. Virginia Tech, Boise State, whatever. And then Florida Atlantic, I don't know, maybe I kind of view them as a flash in the pan. I think Iowa State can handle them. I'm more worried about a potential matchup against Texas A&M just because of the coaching staff that they have. And I think Buzz Williams is there, the old Marquette coach.
They lost to Texas Tech in a closed-door scrimmage. A&M did. I think we are a vastly better team than Texas Tech and A&M for that matter. I think anything less than a finals appearance in this Thanksgiving shindig would be a disappointment.
Yeah, I fully expect them to beat VCU by 10, 15 points. Boise State or Virginia Tech. I don't know how you can. I don't know really what to say on those. I know Boise State has a little bit of a good or decent offense and bad defense, if I remember correctly. Virginia Tech, I don't know a whole lot about. And obviously, Florida Atlantic has brought everybody back as starters from their Final Four team, but how much of that was the riding high of the March Madness train versus are they actually a really good team?
What were they last year? Were they a 12 seed?
No, well,
FAU? I thought they were a 12 seed last year.
well, they were ranked for most of the year. Let's go see. Let's find it out.
Were they 5? I might lose my mind.
2023. They were 9.
Okay, so a team that was like the 36th best team in the country brought all their starters back. Cool. They had a good run for a little bit.
Damn.
I'm dismissing them. I don't believe in. I don't believe in any of the Final Four teams last year except for UConn.
I think I could side with that, quite honestly. Yeah, because San Diego State. I mean,
they had so many old players that
yeah.
does college basketball. Like Matt Bradley was like 26 and on his own health insurance. Like playing against 18-year-olds.
VCU lost to McNeese State. Is McNeese the 51st state? VCU is NIT team. Second game would be around 64 preview, and finals would be a second weekend game. Good measuring 6 series of games. San Diego State lost to BYU in basketball this season. Yes, they did. So
yeah. I don't think it.
Yeah,
I'm not sold on that either.
We got a busy week coming up, really, in terms of Iowa State sports, quite honestly. So we got obviously Texas on Saturday, Grambling State on Sunday. Get a 3-day break here before Turkey Day, and then you got your NFL games on Thursday, and then
Friday,
Black Friday. Don't forget. I forgot that the Amazon Prime was doing the Black Friday football game.
More than you got primetime games for us Iowa State.
Hell yeah. VCU, 4:30 p.m. on Turkey Day on ESPN2. And then Black Friday, it's either on 4:30 or 7 p.m. And then Sunday, they don't have a time frame for it yet. But yeah, we'll get 3 straight Iowa State basketball games on. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight Iowa State basketball games that are not on ESPN Plus. So we got that going.
Big thing for all you bracket junkies out there. I think that there's a stat. It's like 9 of the last 10 national champions have won a tournament on Thanksgiving weekend. So that's your betting stat for your futures, by the way.
Book it. Iowa State's going to the Final Four to win the title.
If they win the preseason tournament, that's a key indicator.
Even without it, no problem.
They're the 1 out of 10.
So before we wrap this up, I'll share. I don't know. I'm sure Larry's tweeted it out. I don't know if he has or not, but he booked his hotel room with a 10-day canceling window in Phoenix already. And he did it after the second game.
Against a D2 school that just turned D1?
It's like, and Jake was like, Larry, what are you doing? He's like, I got a 10-day cancellation window.
So what
happens if they go to the Elite Eight? Yeah. I don't know.
When does the window start? Does he get to pick when it starts?
I think it's like he has up till 10 days before he has to show up. So he has to know literally like if they go to the Sweet 16, he has to make the ballsiest decision of his entire life of what to do. These are the odds that Cyclone Larry plays with. We're just playing checkers. He's playing chess.
Well, hopefully we get a nice easy path of like the way UConn had it last year, just all these high seeds.
And I don't know if you get past that cancellation mark if you could transfer a hotel room from somebody to the next person. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
This is one way to find out. Larry on the phone with Otts. Don't you F me over. Let's see. Larry, Iowa lost a defensive player and their team total for points scored this weekend went down. LOL, that has to be a first.
Yeah. I would expect them in that game. Who they play this week? Illinois.
Oh,
I think the over was like 30.5. That under is so easy.
Illinois they had to bring in that quarterback for the injury, and he threw for like 500 yards.
Yeah, it was like
it was 400 yards.
Indiana though.
Still, you throw for 400 yards in any kind of game. That's still like, I don't know.
400 yards.
I do not fully expect him to throw for 400 yards against Iowa. I'll make this clear right now, but it's still like, hey, I came off the pine. I just threw for 420 yards. Like, I'm all that is man. That's what I would be saying. All that is man. So, all right. Well, we'll wrap up this basketball heavy pod here since Nate fell asleep in the middle of a BYU game and didn't know what the hell happened. So, hey, are you guys still doing? Are you guys firing up the basketball pod again?
Yeah,
I know you're doing some Cycle and Fanatic stuff, but are you firing up the basketball pod again?
Yeah, we just need someone to figure out how to do StreamYard, and then we're good to go. I think Sean was going to do it. So,
okay, well, I probably need to show you guys then someday.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty easy.
Clone cones. I had my first one ever on Sunday.
Okay, let me get your take on this. All right, full disclosure, don't hate ice cream. I'm fat. I'm from Iowa. I'm fat. I have eaten a fair share of ice cream. Do you or do you not think that it should be flavored?
That's a good question. I like vanilla ice cream. But
I think it's like a mental hurdle for me because I like vanilla ice cream too, but it's like they're shooting out red and yellow ice cream. And
I thought it was awesome. Like
I need some flavoring because of the color. I don't know.
I wouldn't want what would you like strawberry banana? Like that would be
like obviously strawberry is the cardinal or red.
You could do cherry.
Or cherry. But the yellow is what
cherry because I like a cherry dilly bar. If you've ever had one of those from Dairy Queen,
yeah. The yellow is the kicker.
You can do like butterscotch, banana, lemon.
What if you did cherry and like a lemon or lemonade flavors? I don't know.
Yeah, but
lemonade
flavor ice cream. I don't know. That's not always like you got to be in a mood to have like a really fruity ice cream.
You could do like sherbet flavor or something.
Oh, that'd be terrible. Vanilla, just leave it vanilla. Everyone likes vanilla. If you don't like vanilla, you are a terrorist. You hate America if you don't like vanilla ice cream.
I don't know. I think it's like a mental block for me. It's like I see the red and yellow. I'm like, this has to be flavored, but I still haven't quite conquered a good flavoring pair, right? So a cherry lemon clone cone would never. You're probably right. That's quite honestly probably true. A cherry lemon.
They should.
That's what I said.
They should have separate ones where like you get a clone cone and they get a flavored clone cone where you could get your cherry and you could just have it all be red, or you could have it be red or red and yellow or just yellow. You can have it flavored.
Here's the actual thing, and Brownie's been on this for a while.
Jamie won't even sell beer in the stadium. You think he's gonna change the flavor of a clone cone?
He'd probably change the color or the flavor of a clone cone before he sold beer. That's the world we. Oh yeah. Aiden's not on here anymore. I could talk shit about.
Oh, I might not be able to talk trash.
I won't. Anyways, we'll save it for when Levi gets back. I can get him fired up and get him on a podcast. Anyways, Brownie's been on this for a while, but red and yellow Miami Vice flavored ice cream.
That can be.
If they get to alcohol, you could get like a Bahama Mama, and you could make it look like a clone cone.
Bahama Mama. Nice. And Matthias is out here telling the people it's not good enough for him. I haven't said that once. You guys are putting words in my mouth.
I would prefer the clone cone if they just ditched the cone and just gave me more ice cream.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to scoop it in with a spoon. I feel like I felt like I looked like an idiot doing it. Like everyone.
I don't think there's a proper way. Yeah, there's probably not another way or a proper or good-looking way to eat a clone cone, quite honestly. Bahama Mommy hits another 3. Jesus Christ. Jamie Pollard would do anything and everything before he would let the poorers have alcohol in the stadium. That is one thing we'll say. 100% true. He would never mind. We're not going to go down this rabbit hole. We'll save it for when Levi gets back. We'll have Christmas break time when basketball goes back into its little lull before Big 12 season starts. We'll have a podcast where me and Levi go off about things that drive us nuts about the athletic department. That would be a sick podcast.
I'm indifferent on all issues, but I do like beer, so I don't really care. But either way,
as a Wisconsinan, are you? I like to trash on Spotted Cow, partly because it just pisses off Wisconsin people. Like that's my thing. But are you like in love with Spotted Cow?
I mean, I like it. It's not like a love. Like this is gonna sound bad. If it's just like a light beer or just like a domestic beer, that most of them taste relatively similar anyways. Like Spotted Cow and Leinenkugels are really close. If you're going to go Summer Shandy versus Spotted Cow, like the difference is really the lemon. I don't know. I mean, I like Moon Man a little bit better. It's same New Glarus, but
yeah. Isn't that like a newer one?
Yeah, newer, but IPA. Told you I'm getting old.
You are if you're moved to strictly IPAs. I did when I went up to Milwaukee, and I hadn't been to Wisconsin since I don't know, probably when we lived in Illinois before moving to Iowa. But now I can remember the foods I eat. Like had real authentic Wisconsin cheese curds or fried cheese curds. We call them cheese balls. Real nice. That was good stuff. Phenomenal.
Where'd you go?
Just some bar downtown in Milwaukee. Some barrel or something. Here, hold on.
Oh, Oak Barrel?
There you go.
Yep, I lived a block away when I was down there. It's right next to the Pfizer.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Oak Barrel. They have good cheese balls, cheese curds, whatever you want to call them.
Any of the Milwaukee Cyclones listening, bottomless mimosas there. 2 thumbs up.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that all day or probably just mornings?
It's not like 2.
Nice. I will give them credit. Milwaukee has its as any city does, has its rough patches, but downtown there by Pfizer is pretty cool. A lot of good stuff to do. Because the Bucks own what do they call it? What's it called? The Buck
the Deer District.
Deer District. There we go.
They own like the whole block.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty cool stuff going on there, and I enjoyed. There's no basketball game going on, but we took a tour with one of the guys that's been a game attendant with the Bucks for it was over 20 years, but he like literally knew anything about the Bucks that you could possibly think of, and took us through the entire basketball stadium and through Marquette's locker room and the Bucks locker room. I got a picture sitting in Giannis's chair, so I'm pretty elite.
Yeah, was that when you sent me? You were like,
haunting me. It's like,
but the guy this one guy walks up to Giannis's locker and he's getting ready to open it. He's like, this guy was standing in the back. He's like, "Hey, stop!"
What are you gonna do? Steal a size 20 pair of shoes to wear?
Yeah, wear him as a hat.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Draymond choking out Rudy in the Wolf? Dude, he literally
he got 5 games for it.
Oh, he did? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think that happened while we've been on here.
Did Klay Thompson get anything?
I have no idea. Draymond,
Besides a ripped jersey.
sell that and like donate that for some charity, because that would go. I'd auction for that.
I was laughing at some people last night that they were like claiming that the two fighting events that happened in the NBA last night, I wouldn't even call them really fighting events, but with the T-Wolves and the
Grizzlies Lakers one doesn't count.
And Grizzlies and Lakers, they're like, oh, this is like the Malice at the Palace. I mean, no. The Malice at the Palace, people were getting domed. Like,
yeah, Ron Artest was fighting.
Yeah. Not even close. Doesn't compare.
That Draymond Green wasn't trying to choke Rudy out to put him to sleep. He just wanted to put him in a headlock to put him in a headlock.
Yeah, he was just being Draymond. You guys are slow. I posted in the NBA thread a few hours ago. What do you mean a few hours ago? Oh, he did.
How would I have fared in the Malice at the Palace? I would have stayed far away in the back and try not to get my ass kicked. I'm 6'3". Ron Artest is a lot bigger and faster and stronger than me.
Meta world peace.
Panda
you?
friend.
What?
Panda, he changed his name to Panda's Friend for that little bit.
Yeah, it's a artist formerly known as Panda's Friend. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. It's been a wild and wacky ride before we get a 5-game suspension. So for myself and Nate, we will be back. I don't even know if Levi's back next week, but we might do this on Tuesday before, obviously, because like Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, everybody goes and gets hammered. So guaranteed nobody's going to care what we say over the Thanksgiving holiday if we do this on a Wednesday. So look for us to probably be on Tuesday and going from there. So for myself and Nate, we will see you guys later.